All right, so we are currently in the basement, but the reason why we are currently in the basement because it is the next day, and yesterday I was working on the car, and after I finished working on the car, I brought it home, and when I brought it home, I noticed that there was this loud noise, which sounded like plastic hitting, right? So I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, and come to find out, after I removed that pipe that went from the driver's side valve cover, I noticed that that was holding the scoop up a little bit, the scoop that goes from the hood, that one right there, that little scoop right there, that little pipe was holding it up at an angle. So because it had it up at an angle, it was holding the pipe that goes down. I'll show it to you right now, but the pipe that was going down was held up at a certain angle, and it's adjusted at a certain angle. So I'm thinking the things that are zip tied to that pipe got pushed downward towards another angle because that pipe is no longer there, and it pushed something forward to the fan because it only turned on, or that noise only happened when the fan turned on. I figured that much out. So I didn't record the sound, obviously, because I was traumatized and trying to figure out what was wrong with my motor. I thought something was worse than what it was. And right now we're gonna figure that part out. So I'm gonna remove the scoop and hopefully that sound doesn't come back. I would show you the sound, but I don't wanna work on the car when it's hot, especially down here in the basement. I don't even wanna deal with that. So for right now, I'm gonna work on it, remove the scoop, and see if I turn on the car, if that noise comes back. So this is the pipe that I'm talking about. This pipe has something zip tied to it down at the bottom, and I think is hitting the fan. So remember the little pipe that went down this way, I know it's a little dark, but it held it up like that. And when it's pushed up, it doesn't touch. So I think I just need to loosen this up, but I'm gonna remove everything first. So that way when I go down there and I work on it and turn it on, if it doesn't sound the way it sounded before, then I know it has to do with this. Just a little side note, if you guys don't have like a little to-go toolbox, I highly recommend getting one. Got this from Home Depot, got it as a birthday gift. I believe these are Huskies. Yeah, they're Huskies. I highly recommend you guys go get one. Pretty cheap, pretty affordable, and you can keep it in the trunk of your car. Comes in handy. I mean, look, all of this, all of that, multiple sizes, super light, super convenient. All right, so my assumption is one of these, and I feel it, there it is. This was hitting the fan, as you can see. That's what was hitting the fan. I knew there was something that was stuck, and I figured it out. So I'm gonna turn it on right now and see if I can hear that noise or not. I don't think the noise is gonna come back because obviously here's the culprit. All right, now that I got it out, that's what it looks like. And for those of you that are wondering why is there a hose inside of a pipe, it's because this is where the drainage was for the scoop, which is that guy right there. And I figured since this is just a pipe that shoots air over to the intake, it's not crazy important because it's not shooting it into the engine. I did my little invention here to try to make it work. I mean, it worked. It's just, I think when I pushed it back down, it curled into the fan, and that's why it got all messed up like that. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn it on and see if I hear that noise. That sounded disgusting, because if I don't, obviously that was the problem, and I truly do think that was the issue given of how the hose looked, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. So as you guys seen right there, I was showing you guys the fan. The fan was not moving right now. The car, I just turned it on. So the car needs to warm up. Once the car warms up, the fan's gonna turn on. I genuinely think that hose was the main issue, obviously just by the evidence presented in the hose itself. And my next concern is to make sure that the fan is okay, to make sure that the fan is not damaged in any way, shape, or form. So we're gonna keep an eye on it right now. I'm gonna step back out. We're gonna wait for it to turn on and see and make sure that it rotates properly and it doesn't do anything funky. All right, so as you guys can see, we are getting closer to the temperature. We got to get to about 200 to 202 degrees, and then the fan will turn on. So I've been sitting here waiting, and we're getting closer. So once it gets closer to 200, or at least 200 to 202, that is when we will really see if the fan is working properly, especially after the fact that the fan was hitting the hose, and like I said before, I just want to make sure there's no damage at all to the fan whatsoever. It's just rubber, but at the same time, I still want to be safe. All right, the fan just turned on. Let's go see. All right, so I think for right now, I'm just gonna be running it like this, open. I'm gonna tuck this hose probably somewhere over here. That way it's out of the way and it doesn't hit anything else. And then in another video, I'll make sure that I set it up properly. But for right now, this is just how it's gonna sit. Obviously, I'll make it look nicer right now. But overall, we're in the clear. All right, so that was good. As you guys seen in the video, the fan wasn't shaking. It wasn't making any weird type of noises. Right now I can just hear it blowing hot air. My contacts were literally going dry, but that's really good news. And now we saved ourselves some money for sure, because these fans are not cheap. But now I have to figure out a new system or get a new hose and make it longer so that doesn't happen again. And when I say a new hose, I'm talking about the drainage one that goes through the pipe, and we should be good. But other than that, guys, major success for today. And if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because it'll let you guys know every time we upload. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. As you guys can see,